willpower is a finite resource. It will run out. So under all circumstances, you should absolutely not stay in a situation if there is a way to exit that situation where you're having to work off of just raw willpower, because you will fail at some point. But if the Lord has you in a situation on purpose in order to draw something out, or perhaps to drive you to rely more on Him or to give something up, if you find yourself in that situation, then the objective is to resist, but also to press in. So proactively getting with the Lord and really pressing in to say, all right, Lord, I'm choosing to rely on you, right? Because you're not choosing to extricate me from the situation. It's kind of like the same thing with healing. I've seen people get healed miraculously of addiction. Some people don't get that. Some people, He's like, no, we're going to walk this one out together. And in those situations, you have to learn that His grace is sufficient for you. And that's a process, and it's a walk. It's not something that just happens overnight. And so you have to learn to lean into Him and to rely on Him, and again, like Paul, trust that His grace, which is His divine power to endure, is sufficient, as well as His grace as covering for the times that you fail, because the process of improvement, especially when you're working a muscle out, comes with failure. So in summary, if you have a spouse who is doing something that you struggle with, whether it's as an addiction or it's a trigger for particular sins, whatever that thing happens to be, if you have a spouse who's in that situation, if you have a good relationship with them, or if you feel comfortable doing it, maybe just try asking them not to do whatever that thing is around you because you're trying to change or you're trying to improve a certain aspect of your life. If they're unwilling, then from there, the next thing to do is to do everything you can to just remove yourself from the situation anytime they are performing whatever it is that you're struggling with. Even going as far as if you're at a restaurant and they're, going to light up a cigarette, or they're going to drink a drink, or whatever the thing is that you're wrestling with, just say, hey, I got to excuse myself until you're done, and when you're done, I'll come back. Right? So just remove yourself from the situation to the extent that you can. And then if you can't remove yourself from the situation, then you want to pray and you want to ask the Lord, Lord, why do you have me in this situation? What is it that you're trying to show me? What weakness is it you're trying to improve upon? What thing is it you're trying to get me to give up? What is it, in what way are you wanting me to rely on you that I'm not currently relying on you? Maybe even do a fast, for like a day or two. If you've got it in you, try to do like a 3-day. So, do whatever it is that you need to do to determine why it is that the Lord has you in this situation, has chosen not to miraculously heal you from it, and is allowing you to be in a place where you're in perpetual temptation without a release. Oh, and also very important, something that we frequently miss, is look for the way of escape. Because Scripture says that God will never test you beyond what you can bear, but He will provide a way of escape. So that's a really important one that people miss a lot of times. It doesn't say that God will never test you beyond what you can bear. It says that He will provide you a way of escape, which means that you will be tested in frequent times, potentially beyond what you can bear, but with that comes the way of escape, and that's the thing that you have to choose. A lot of times we miss the way of escape because we're not looking for it. So if you find yourself in that situation, just make sure you're always looking for the way of escape. To the user that asked that question, I hope that helped. If you guys have more questions about kind of how to navigate this thing, let me know, hit me up in the comments, and I'll continue to try and expound on this topic, because I know this is something a lot of people struggle with.